Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Jane and in this channel we talk about fragrances. For returning viewers and subscribers old and new, sending you all a big hello and thank you so much for your continued support. And if you haven't yet, please to consider clicking the subscribe button below. Make sure it turns a gray color and click on the bell icon to enjoy similar content in the future. I have a sample set to share with you today, one that's well suited for our tropical climate year-round and one that's also been requested by my good friend Hannah. Hello there, Hannah! So I've heard some news that Atelier Cologne pulled out of the US and Canada in physical stores and online recently, and it would be increasingly difficult to get these fragrances in those areas. No news if other regions in the globe have also been affected, but as for us here in the Philippines, Atelier Cologne has no store, physical or online. I think Singapore has one and Malaysia too. I was still able to get in their US website, so they might still be around. I'm not sure if this is the effect of the pandemic on businesses. Maybe L'Oreal, who owns Atelier Cologne, is restructuring. A lot of companies might be restructuring to cut costs, seeing as the perfume industry was likely hit hard by this pandemic in terms of revenue. Fragrances are definitely non-essential goods, low priority amongst many during difficult times. Nonetheless, I have this sample with me. I might as well share my thoughts on these 7 fragrances in the line. I got this sample set called Perfume Palette. There may be other versions of this, but the one I got has Cedre Atlas, Pomelo Paradis, Orange Sanguine, Vanille Insensee, Osmanthus, Pacific Lime, and Clementine California. French names, so I'm so sorry if I mispronounce those names yet again. I've purchased this set from the Sephora US website during the last VIB sale last November, and this just came in February. This retails for $24 US. These are all, by the way, in Cologne Absolute Pure Perfume concentration. This is a great way to sample Atelier Cologne, particularly if you're not a big fan of citruses like moi. So citrus to me has to be done a certain way to make me want to wear them. Plus, they can come across as masculine to me sometimes that I tend to veer away from them. So if you're interested to know more about my thoughts on these 7 fragrances, please keep on watching. As you can see from the dents on the samples, you can kinda guess which ones I have enjoyed more. So this is sort of a ranked video. I will leave my most favorite right to the end, the one I think we all ought to have in our collection. All of these are marketed as unisex, but 2 fragrances I will however leave out of the ranking because they're more masculine to me and my husband kindly tested them out for me. For you guys who are familiar with Atelier Cologne or own some of these, you can probably guess which 2 leaned fairly masculine to me. First is Cedre Atlas. My husband prefers this over the other one as this reminds him of some fragrances he sniffed or currently owns. He said this reminds him of Creed Aventus or Dior Sauvage, that fruity, citrusy, fresh, woody cologne vibe this gives him, and the occasions he'd wear this for. I'm guessing it's also the ambroxan. My husband loves that note on him. This to me smells of refreshing citruses plus ambroxan. Yes, they did not list ambroxan, but it's the note that screams at me in this fragrance. This stayed on my husband for about 2 hours. This may last longer when oversprayed. This little sample limits the number of sprays, obviously. Overall, I like this scent on a man. Clementine California is another one that leans masculine to my nose, however less so than Cedre Atlas. This one has clementine, mandarin orange, juniper berry, basil, star anise, pepper, cypress, Haitian, vetiver, and sandalwood. Very manly note combinations if you ask me. So this to me smells like an aftershave cologne, fresh, citrus, and aromatic. My husband felt this lasted way shorter than Cedre Atlas. Then again, he probably just wore 3 little sprays. So this can definitely be worn by ladies who prefer gender bender fragrances in the citrus aromatic scent category. Both of these are, by the way, very wearable in our hot and humid climate. Daytime wear mostly or as an after shower scent. These are also pretty safe gifts for the man in your life. And now for the fragrances we're left with. On the number 5 spot is Orange Sanguine. This is probably one of their best sellers, seeing as this has a pretty high ranking in Fragrantica. If you're familiar with the orange drink Minute Maid, this is the exact same scent. My daughter loves that drink and this smells pretty close. So this is basically a photorealistic, freshly squeezed, very ripe orange juice. This is also very unisex smelling right there in the center and definitely ageless. I feel like men and women of every age and even children are going to enjoy this scent. I also recently found out that Maricel Soriano, a local veteran actress, loves this perfume. I wouldn't recommend to wear this outside in high heat, especially on very humid days locally. This smelled funny after mixing it with sweat. Indoors in air-conditioned environment, this smells divine all day. Just FYI, drink ice-cold fresh orange juice instead when it's really hot outside. So this sadly belongs to the number 5 spot because I'm not a big fan of oranges in perfumes unless they are supporting notes. But orange-centric ones, nah. If you love this, buy a big bottle if you can because you can definitely share this with everyone in the household who is into perfumes and even those who are not. That's Orange Sanguine. Next up on the number 4 spot is Pacific Lime. To me, this smells like a fizzy lime drink, Sprite to be exact. So this has lime from Mexico, lemon from Italy, coconut from the Philippines, spearmint from America, and eucalyptus from China. This is an uber refreshing lime scent, great for a humid warm day out. That fizziness must be coming from the spearmint and the eucalyptus, and this airy citrus freshness stays put throughout the life of this fragrance. So the coconut to me is there, but in the background, more importantly, not the santan lotion smell that the addition of coconut gives off in some fragrances sometimes. Here, it's more fresh coconut milk, giving this a slightly sweet, creamy touch, but only if you really look hard for it, it isn't as prominent. This smells unisex but leans feminine to my nose. This was compared to L'Imperatrice from D&G and I so disagree. This is more of a citrus aromatic fragrance versus the fruity floral aquatic fragrance of L'Imperatrice. Both are fresh and airy though. I personally think this is quite unique. I honestly have never smelled any other fragrance that's citrusy, coconut, minty before. One to check out if you're looking for something like this. This is my number 4 because I prefer the other fragrances in this set more. My top 3 would be Pomelo Paradis. Full disclosure, among all citruses, my absolute favorite is pomelo or red grapefruit, both as note in perfumes and as edible citrus because of the sweeter flavor. So this perfume opens with a blast of acidic, bittersweet citrus reminiscent of fresh pomelo right when you peel off the rind and you open the pulp. If you're familiar with Vetiver Pamplemousse by Zara, another big favorite of mine by the way, this is its sweeter, more feminine counterpart. This is going to make for a great everyday fragrance for the height of summer. That citrus acidity will cut through the heat, at the same time keep you refreshed for when you feel sticky from the humidity. Not the best for lasting, but you'd want to keep topping this up for freshness when it is really hot anyway. Pomelo Paradis, my top 3 in this set. Next up is my number 2 and is frequently compared to best-selling Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, and this is Love Osmanthus. I've very little left in this sample vial. I thoroughly enjoyed sampling this fragrance, as you can see. So reason being, just like good old light blue, this is delightfully easy to wear, pleasant, inoffensive, fresh, and definitely, I'm sorry to say, very short-lived as well. So this lasted about 2 hours on me. So this has 3 notes listed: lemon, Chinese Asmanthus, and cedar. There are very slight differences in my opinion. Love Osmanthus comes across more citrusy than fruity overall. This is also more velvety smooth, and I kinda get the vanilla DNA here that's in Vanille Insensee, which is obviously not in light blue. But these are very minor nuances that this is practically interchangeable with light blue. I'm not getting a full bottle because this is much harder to get locally, and not to mention pricier, Atelier Cologne being a niche brand. Scent-wise, I am ranking this high, but I don't think the world will miss this scent if this never existed, if you know what I mean. This isn't incredibly unique, in fact, very mainstream smelling, but very likable, lovable even. I'd say save your hard-earned money and buy D&G Light Blue instead. My number 1 in this set is a fragrance I seriously recommend you get before they phase this out completely, if ever Atelier Cologne is going that path. And this is Vanille Insensee. I was seriously captivated on first spray. This is a citrus, woody, vanilla, dry, aromatic, perhaps leaning a little gourmand and a little powdery to me, but not quite. This is sweet but not overdone. The citrus and the warm spices are an exciting mix. Top that off with the woody vanilla, just heaven. This is very wearable too. Notes are lime, citron, coriander, vetiver, oak moss, jasmine, vanilla, oak, and amber. If you enjoy spicy vanilla scents like Nishan Ani, Eau de Well by Diptyque, you would enjoy this more, perhaps because that fresh, citrusy opening draws you in for more. Plus, this is a more wearable member of the scent family. I can easily grab this anytime I feel I need a little cozy smelling perfume for the cooler days. That's not too gourmet edible at all, but cozy sweet, vanillic nonetheless. Locally, this will do great during the rainy monsoon months or for cooler nights. This isn't heavy at all. The citruses keep this afloat. Amber and spices keep this cozy and inviting. The woods and oak moss give this a wonderful, earthy, rounded feel. This also lasted an amazing 6 hours. 6 hours on me, perhaps more if oversprayed, which is far from the 2 hours I get from any of the ones I have here. Feminine leaning, but I think a man can pull this off. Lovely, heavenly scent, a must-own for vanilla lovers, even for those who are not. I recommend you get at least a 30ml bottle. I'm hoping to be able to get my hands on one. Atelier Cologne, please do not say goodbye, if only for Vanille Insensee. Alrighty, you guys, I hope I did this wonderful fragrances justice with my descriptions, and if you are one to enjoy citrusy perfumes, especially if you live in the tropics like I do, these fragrances are great to own, any one of these. So do lower your expectations for longevity and projection, as these aren't great in those areas, but these are all pretty much very wearable, delightfully fresh, and easy to vibe with. So you do not have to think very hard to wear them. They are casual, everyday fragrances. I wish I discovered this brand a while back. Anyway, the Harrods website still carries some variants in the line. The 30ml goes for $64 US. The 100ml is anywhere from $115 to $194 depending on the variant, and the 200ml bottle goes for $197 to $208 US. So I hope you found this video useful, and I thank you guys for joining me today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon down below. Stay safe everyone, smell your absolute best, and I will see you all in my next video.